555 Jacksonville.
Attention. Attention.
They are not ready for prime time.
Prime time.
Prime time.
Prime time, that's the name.
Prime time.
Prime time.
What time is it? Showtime prime time.
It's XL Prime Time, featuring Joe C.
And then he couldn't fire his glutes later.
Matt Hayes.
His balls are different in person.
And Leon Searcy.
So they were smelling themselves.
Oh, my gosh.
With no deal.
How you like me now? How you like me now?
Oh, we have made it to Thursday, short work week. You could definitely dig into a 4-day work week, most of you, because you're putting in your time. Most of you are on 5-day work weeks, but this one, with the Memorial Day weekend, the long holiday weekend, you're already looking forward to another one. So welcome in. We got Matt Hayes back in the building from the SEC spring meetings. That trip across the Panhandle, never easy. We'll talk about that. But Big Sirs, he booked it out of here. Jamaica, man, he's gone for the next few days. So he's going to be island time in it now, having a good time. So on that note, should I go ahead and give him a Modelo Yellow? Yeah, just send him off properly? Yes. Because he's gone, having a good time, probably cutting up a lime right now. But you are back.
Lime.
Lime.
Yeah.
Instead of
L-I-M-E. Lime.
Lime.
Yeah, because it sounded like something different. That's all I'm saying.
Lime.
Line is what I heard.
Right, it's what I heard too. I heard lime.
And it made me feel very uncomfortable.
Right.
So I'm glad that you said
lime.
that.
Wow.
Especially with the Stephon Diggs in the news. That video is all over the place. By the way, is lime and tequila, is that like a Jamaican drink?
Well, it just depends on what you are
coconut.
making, but I was just thinking citrusy more than anything else. And since I was doing the Modelo Yellow or the Corona Call, I figured I put a lime in it. But the pink powder, by the way, before we get going on anything else, does he actually, does he get a spoon and divvy it out, or all I see him is him? Oh, one of the girls actually opens it up, correct? At least the video that I saw.
He provides the bag. He has it and gives it.
Right. He pulls it out. There's 3 of them around him. This is a social media. It went viral. And Stephon Diggs
what this is, yeah.
is on a yacht on the same.
Living it up,
Yeah.
you could say.
He's on the actual boat as well. But he is surrounded by 3 girls, and they're having a good time. And then he pulls the bag of pink powder out. And then I did see the Mike Vrabel soundbite. They spliced it together.
Upset, yeah. Leadership and all that kind of stuff. And there was video trending yesterday of the wide receivers at Patriots practice dropping passes back to back. And then him on a boat with beautiful women, and that, who knows? I'm not even going to allege what might be or not be in that bag.
Exactly.
I don't want to be the master of the obvious, but you don't go 100 catch, 47.
Yeah. Well, he had an ACL.
I know he did.
So
I know he did, but my point is you don't go healthy ACL.
No, all I'm saying, Stephon Diggs, when he got it going in Houston, Buffalo ran him out of town, sucked up $31 million of dead cap money to get him out of town. And then when he got to H-Town, he actually started making plays for them and turning heads, and you're thinking, oh, no.
Apparently he got it going in New England, too. So.
Yeah. Well,
have any of these guys learned from the Vikings boat scandal?
No. Never.
I mean, I thought Chris Carter went to the rookie symposium and told all these guys, and
another.
How about do these guys not realize everyone has a phone?
Cameras everywhere.
Right. And another one about the rookie symposium, they all fall asleep. They don't care. It's just unreal because most of them, they all think they're invincible. We know that, and that it won't happen to them, and there'll be someone there to pull them out of the problem ASAP if it does go down. But yeah, they don't listen. And how long ago was the Minnesota?
The sex boat? I think that we're going on 20 years. So Stephon Diggs was probably a child when that happened.
Yeah. And so they're not paying attention. But anyway, we'll see what happens. I just think it's a bit comical that she was on the boat too. And I just got to believe that they were all just kind of, free falling. Everything was great. This is groovy.
They were free falling, all right.
We will find out whether he's in trouble or not with her.
I like that Jacksonville's players are having weddings on the weekend and, marrying the love of their life instead of
that
on the boat with Stephon Diggs.
You're going to have to play that on the boat, just a little bit of it, that viral one that, gosh, how long ago was that as well? We were on a boat. So I loved it. It was fun. All right, so
Well, there's also a little nuttiness with the Jaguars players in the offseason as well. When Eric Armstead saying that Brenton Strange is going to be a top 5 tight end.
I like it. I think there's nothing wrong with
man.
what's wrong with propping up one of
I
your
think it's
guys?
fine. I think it's fine.
Yeah.
I think it's fine. It's great. I hope it works out. But I mean, we all saw with our own 2 eyes, right?
Well, yeah, but we saw Evan Ingram not be 100%, and so then they had to start relying on Brenton Strange. And when they did towards the second half of the season, he actually did okay. And now you got a brand new offense.
I think he could be a very good player in the league. I don't know about top 5. Top 5.
I'm not even suggesting I agree with Eric Armstead. I'm just saying, why not? At least prop your guy up if that's what you choose to do. And Eric Armstead was. I think I saw one post that basically they were giving you some numbers. Let me see if I can find it.
I guess what I'm saying is because the best tight ends in the league are flex guys. They're not tight ends.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And Brenton Strange can fall into that. The one good thing about what might be out there for Brenton Strange, and a lot of people, as we always take whatever the coach that's here now, whatever he did somewhere else,
right?
You try and transfer that into Duval, and you think that it's going to be able to repeat itself. And Cade Otton was a pretty dang good player for Liam Cohen's offense last year.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you know me, I'm a prop better. I'm always picking different things, trying to combo guys up with big odds to score touchdowns. And so I would pick Cade Otton here and there. I did it more last year than I did it the year before. And I start looking for Tucker Kraft and for the Ottons of the world. And who was the dude in Arizona that just flipping caught balls left and right but never got in the end zone until the last week of the season? It was just nuts. I'm trying to think of who it is. You guys can hit the text line.
McBride.
Yeah, McBride. Yeah, Trey McBride. And he got a killer deal this offseason, but McBride did not score a touchdown until week 18, I'm pretty sure. So anyway.
Yeah, he had 1,100 yards and 2 studies.
Nuts, man.
Tied for 116th in league in touchdowns, but 11th in yards.
Yeah, and I paired him up, I can't tell you how many times, trying to get him in the end zone. But if, and this is the big if, this is what, like I said, we kind of fall into this trap. If you translate what Liam Cohen's offense did, Mike Evans was already a great player. Chris Godwin, definitely a good player. And I guess you could say Rachaad White, good player. Mm-hmm. But then they got the run game going. They got Cade Otton much more involved. And so now you're looking at it and you're trying to forecast what Brenton Strange can do. And you've said it before, what Evan Ingram was doing in this offense.
Right.
As predictable as it might have been at times, he definitely was making hay. And if Strange can somehow fit into that, he's still a big enough guy where he can be an inline blocker, but can still also move a little bit.
Right. He's kind of like one of those dual guys. I would love to see it. I just, so far when we've seen him, he's not a sleek gazelle. No. He's a lumbering dude. It's just what he is.
Yeah, I'm glad you said sleek because I was kind of thinking the exact same term.
He's not even Gronk. He's more of a lumberer than Gronk was.
Oh yeah,
it's. I'm not saying that's
Gronk
bad.
Gronk
I'm just saying
great.
that's what he is.
Yeah. Gronk was great.
It's just what he is. So I would be very surprised if he ends up being one of the top 5 players, top 5 tight ends in the league.
Yeah.
He will have completely changed his game.
Yeah, and I'm just I got
doesn't mean he can't do it. I'm just saying I'd be very surprised.
Sure, I'm going to find this one post because it definitely had some numbers of what other guys have done and what he would have to do to get into the top 10, and it's not outrageous. So we'll at least bring it up.
About 80, 90 catches he'd have to have, right?
Yeah, you're going to have to get in that neighborhood.
Yeah,
because Ingram was
8-10 tuds.
Well, he was, but that we're just talking.
Although if Leon's 39 touchdowns from Trevor, somebody's got to catch him, right?
Yeah. Travis will get 8. Let's just say Brenton Strange
DTJ will get 13,
6 or 7.
Right?
DTJ gets double digits, which is what he had last year.
We're already way out there, July Joe.
Diami, obviously.
Right, Diami, of course.
Diami's going to crush it.
Yes. Yeah,
okay. I got wide receiver love for Diami. We'll find out how it goes, but we'll at least bring that up coming up here in just a second. Now we're going to spend some time today on the SEC and the coaches rankings, which we were bringing up yesterday, and we might even fire a phone call to Connor O'Gara today or tomorrow. He was one of your old buddies from Saturday Down South that put some rankings out there. I know you used to do that as well when you were there, but the reason we brought it up is because where Billy Napier is being viewed across the SEC coaches.
So let me stop you right
landscape.
there. Let me stop you right there,
Yeah.
okay? So this event in Destin, it's a spring meetings. Coaches go there, they meet, and they talk. It's basketball coaches, football coach, all coaches,
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah.
All athletic
All the sports.
directors, all presidents, all faculty reps, they're all there, okay? Everybody from the league office. In previous years, I bet I've gone to 16 of these things, okay? There are a handful of coaches, maybe 3 or 4 or 5, probably 5, that wherever they go, the media just gloms onto them,
Yeah.
okay? And since Spurrier was the coach of Florida, through Spurrier, even Zook, okay? Muschamp, Urban, even McElwain, okay?
Come on.
Listen, definitely Dan Mullen too, okay?
If they were chasing Jim
so hang
McElwain,
on, I'm not there yet, okay?
that's pretty cool.
Yesterday, they're breaking. Now, granted, Billy Napier already had his time with the media. He spent about 10, 12 minutes, which was really nice. Great, okay? Great, no problem. He's very fired up about the season. DJ Lagway's throwing at an increased level right now. I think he said
3 times a week.
210 balls or something like that every time he throws. They got him like on an actual pitch count, okay?
10
So he's progressing at a great rate. They're very excited. He's excited about the season. He thinks they're going to have a terrific team. Everything's great, right? Everything's great. But I can guarantee you in previous years, when the coaches break or they get a break and one of the coaches walks out, there's no way the Florida football coach is going to walk through a gaggle of about 25 media people and no one stop him.
Yeah, I believe when you said it yesterday, I'm like, whoa.
Stopped him.
Right, yeah.
What about the basketball coach?
So
was there like a bigger crowd for Golden than?
No, there was a good sized crowd. Definitely a good sized crowd. But
Yeah,
I mean, I can tell you this: Todd Golden. There's no way Todd Golden could have walked through that gaggle of media
and not
been stopped.
Right,
no
right.
chance.
Yeah.
There's no chance any of those other Florida coaches I just said could have walked through that gaggle and not been stopped. No chance.
All right, so you guys think about it. Where would he rank? Who you putting above him? Who you putting below him? We'll throw the records and some of the rankings out, the chatter that's out there as far as that's concerned. We got to get to the playoff model and everything that we were talking a little bit about yesterday that we will do coming up. It is XL Primetime. We're going to get back into the Jags with some of those numbers that at least other tight ends had last year that Brenton Strange would have to get into that neighborhood to be regarded as one of the best tight ends in America.
Made in Jacksonville, for Jacksonville, by Jacksonville. 1010XL, Jacksonville Sports Radio.
Hello, First Coast. I'm sure by now you have seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We're an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We're committed to customer service, reliability, and have an unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today from GFL, Green for Life.
Where does Northeast Florida buy cars? Arlington Toyota. Why Arlington? Selection. Arlington has over 800 new and used vehicles all in one location with everyday low prices. Plus, right now you choose a pre-owned 2023 Camry, RAV4, Tacoma for $0 down and only $388 per month. Or how about no payments till January 2026? Shop in person on Atlantic Boulevard, just a quarter-mile east of 295, or online anytime at arlingtontoyota.com.
DivorceMenOnly.com. This is Kenny Lay of Kenny Lay & Associates. Our firm specializes in representing men in family law. That's all we do. That's our only focus. We can help with all of your family law needs, such as divorce, custody, alimony, and child support. For over a decade, we have helped thousands of men with these types of issues. We even have an appellate division ready to challenge a judge's ruling. If you need a family law attorney, go to DivorceMenOnly.com. DivorceMenOnly.com. Offices, Jacksonville.
Power bill just went up again? Why keep paying more? Clay Solar can wipe that electric bill out. Right now, they'll cover your first 6 months' payments. Visit claysolar.com today to schedule your free consultation. claysolar.com.
Don't miss the Bari Breakdown with Dr. George Bari on XL Primetime, Wednesdays around 3:20 for the latest in sports injuries. From all the big names in the game, who's MIA, who's coming back from injury. Dr. George Barry on XL Primetime, Wednesdays at 3:20.
Listen all day as 1010XL gives you news, notes, and analysis of organized team activities as they get ready for the upcoming season. Our coverage of OTAs is hoisted by Heroes Lawn Care and Hurricane Grill and Wings. Right now, they're on their way to disrupt your life, make you uncomfortable, and rob you. Don't bother calling the police. They can't help. That's right. Summer heat and humidity are about to attack North Florida again. You know what to do. Call Mike Merritt. Mike Merritt's Heating and Air has a license to chill. When heat and humidity are attacking you, Mike Merritt provides a comfortable chill at a bargain price. Mike has been keeping North Florida comfortable for 30 years. Mike Merritt technicians are never paid commissions, meaning you'll never be pressured to buy something you don't need. And Mike Merritt knows cooling issues can arise anytime. They don't just happen during business hours. So Mike Merritt never charges overtime fees. When you need us, we're here for you. Remember, in the fight against heat and humidity, Mike Merritt has a license to chill. Visit merrittair.com. Florida license number CACO 50384.
Looking for a great place to enjoy some craft creations and soak up some scenery? Fernandina's Mocama Beer Company is a must-see and must-try. Nassau County knows it. Visitors need to find out about it. Mocama means near the big water where the sun is born. And if you visit their tap room in Fernandina Beach, you'll see how they've mastered equal parts precision and art in creating great flavors from IPAs to Pilsners, lagers, and sours, plus plenty more. Mocama.com. Mocama Beer Company. Start an adventure and find them in Fernandina.
This is Greg Huntington, a.k.a. The Mangler. I'm on the winning team at Waste Management. WM is the largest sustainability company in North America. If your business needs sustainable environmental services for waste removal and recycling collection, then you can count on the industry leader of WM to deliver results. Your services will be completed in a timely, safe, and eco-friendly manner. Go to WM.com/Duval. That's WM.com/Duval and get signed up today. If anyone can talk trash, it's the Mangler.
Daly's Dash is not only your Jaguars game day stop, but a great place to grab a meal any day of the week. To honor the Jags and the fans, we've crafted the Duval Sub. The Duval comes with freshly sliced turkey, ham, melted cheddar, and habanero jack cheese, topped with crisp lettuce, fresh tomatoes, and a double portion of our secret sauce, all served on a fresh roll. Come by your local's Daly's Dash today to get your delicious Duval Sub. Daly's is the official convenience store sponsor of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
The 2025 season schedule has dropped, and single-game tickets are on sale now. Be at the bank to watch Travis Hunter, Trevor Lawrence, and the Jaguars take on the biggest names in the NFL. Don't miss your favorite matchup and secure your tickets now by visiting jaguars.com/tickets or call 904-633-2000. See you this fall, Jags fans.
Yes, sir. That's the best decision.
I love it.
At Cannons of Jacksonville, they know that when you're towing anything, you gotta have products you can rely on. With over 50 years of fabrication expertise, the family at Cannons can repair or install precisely what you need to tow with confidence. Whether it's a heavy-duty hitch, trailer frame, gooseneck, tow bar, or any other towing accessory, Cannons will provide you with unmatched precision and durability. For all your towing needs, visit cannonsofjacks.com, where quality and customer satisfaction collide.
1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
A video of Stephon Diggs has gotten a lot of traction in the last 24 hours or so. He's on a boat, having a good time, but the question comes in as to a certain substance that people are guessing what is and isn't. Is this something that the team has to look into?
Well, it's something that we're aware of, and obviously we want to make great decisions on and off the field, and we're hoping that with our time here on the field today, and that when we don't have a script and we're on the call-up periods, that we're making great decisions. And so the message will be the same for all our players, that we're trying to make great decisions, and any conversations that I've had with Stephon will remain between him and I and the club.
This is XL Primetime, brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool on 1010XL.
This is real as it gets. I'm on the phone. Don't you ever forget.
get. I'm on a boat.
All right. Good get, JJ. Yeah, so there you go. That's Mike Vrabel. And if you do check on X, you can see the beginning, the actual post from the boat, and then Vrabel having to answer to it. And it is crazy because what head coach wants to answer that question and come up with something sensible about something that makes zero sense when you see it? And Vrabel's like, wait a minute, I just got back to town. This guy is just now coming into this town. He doesn't know the Patriot way. I know the Patriot way. How am I going to explain this one away? And that's basically what he has to do. That's the job he's been given.
First off, it's clear Stephon Diggs is kind of his own man. Mm-hmm. I think we've seen that in the NFL over the last few years, right?
On his third team now.
Yes. So,
no, I take that back. Fourth team.
Fourth. So they were taking a chance as is. Right.
Well, in particularly the injury, coming off the injury in particular.
Right.
That's going to be that was big enough already.
Yeah. Look, he's now, I haven't looked, I bet he's like in year 10, right? 9 or 10? I bet he's close to it.
Yeah, probably close.
I bet he's close to that. I mean,
he was drafted in, he's 31. He was drafted in 2015.
Yeah.
6, 7,
Pride of
9,
Maryland
10,
at one point.
Yeah. By the way, here's a great little anecdote for you, a little blast from the past.
Uh-huh.
When Stephon Diggs was coming out of high school, okay, he was interested in Florida, Ohio State, and Maryland. Mm-hmm. And Will Muschamp thought he had him. Like it was done. Yeah. He was going to Florida, okay? Herb called Stephon Diggs' mother and said he wouldn't send his son to go play at Florida because of the problems in the locker room. The problems that Herb created.
Yeah. Way to go, Herb. Thank you.
Herb created.
Yeah. And you know what? That's just a good gesture on his part, just to make sure.
Just so we're in the situation.
So what did Steph do? He didn't go to either one of them. Went to Maryland.
And I'm guessing that was pre-NIL, but that was NIL.
That was Locke's probably like that. I think that might have been Locke's first year there too. He probably
Mike Locksley went there.
Probably got some big donors thrown.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
That's commendable by Herb to just be like, I created a monster.
I'm looking.
It's unreal, right? It was. I swear, it was like when his mom told me that, I was like, you got to be kidding. And she. This was 11 years ago when she said, don't. I had to use her as an anonymous source, and it's 11 years later, and that. I just threw her under the bus, probably. But at this point, it doesn't matter. Everybody already knows what Herb is. But when his mom told me that, I was like, you got to be kidding me.
Yeah, actually, yeah. Now, it shouldn't shock you, but it is
and
comical.
she said, and I was thinking, well, weren't you there?
Yeah. You had to have something to do with this, sir. But anyway, the Diggs to Maryland was a major shock. And then anyway, like when he comes into the league, we all know what he did. He, like you said, the 1,000-yard season stacked up, whether he was in Minnesota, whether he was in Buffalo, and then they ship him out and you start to at least get the idea that Josh Allen and everyone else they were just sick of him. Get him out of here, that type of feeling. Anyway, I'm laughing off the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures. One of our texters, our Primetimers, they did a question in the locker room of teammates you'd least want to date your sister, and everyone said Diggs. That was a few years ago, so that made me laugh.
I forgot that.
Yeah,
they were saying it like in front of him.
Yeah, that cracks me up. I'm glad he reminded us. All right, so I want to get to these numbers just as far as the tight end is concerned, and then we'll get back to some of the chatter about the SEC and the coaches' rankings. But George Kittle had 78 grabs, 1,100 yards. And so you're talking about a standard that he's been able to put up. And then lo and behold, Brock Bowers comes into the league as a rookie and catches 112 for 1,194 yards. Big numbers from Brock, the former dog, 5 times in the end zone. Trey McBride, we just threw his numbers out earlier. He was only able to get in the end zone a couple of times, but 1,150 yards, basically, pretty dang good. Jonnu Smith had a little bit of a rebirth last year because it was a total bust up in New England for whatever reason. It was just a flat bust from the Titans through New England, then to Miami, and he grabs 88 balls, 884 yards. So he's looking at basically 10 yards per catch and got in the end zone 4 times. Mark Andrews had to come back from an injury.
Yeah.
And then when he did, he really started to thrive again. and he only had 55 catches for 673 yards.
He's a top 5 tight end when he's healthy. Top 3 even. You can make the argument he's top 3.
A couple of other guys. I mentioned Tucker Kraft, 50 balls for 700 yards. That's pretty good. He got in the end zone 11 times. Okay, don't sleep on Tucker Kraft.
I mean, honestly, if Ingram's healthy, Ingram's like night and day better than Bretton Strange.
Yeah, well, it's because he was the starter. Yeah, you'd have to. Yeah,
I mean, like even if Ingram's
he's better than
on
him.
A different team. Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's 100% better than him. All I'm simply saying is that now Bretton Strange has an opportunity.
Yeah, that's my point. If he's going to make this jump, it's going to be a significant jump.
Not gonna know for sure whether he'll be able to do it. But some of these other guys, like Sam Laporta,
really good player.
Yeah, a lot like Brock Bowers. As soon as he walked into the league, he turned heads. This last year, 60 grabs. He got in the end zone 11 times.
What do you average per catch?
726 yards.
He's averaging about 12 a catch.
Yeah, and so he was right there, a dozen yards, basically moving the chains every single time he caught the football. Even Old Man Ertz had 66 grabs for 650 yards, got in the end zone 7 times with the Commanders. Freiermuth 7 times, basically the same number as Ertz. Almost identical. A down year for Travis Kelce. He had over 800 yards receiving, 9 touchdowns, 97 grabs. And that was a down year. Okay? We were kind of counting him out. Kelce ain't the same. He's been swifted. And we'll see if he comes back this year and can be more than that. But anyway, the numbers kind of drop after that. Njoku had 64 catches, 500 yards. If you got that from Bretton Strange, you'd be right around the top 10.
I mean, Brent Strange had a pretty good year last year. He had 40 catches. I mean, quite frankly, 8 of those games were with a backup quarterback.
Yeah.
So he had 40 catches. He had that one big fumble, which is not good. But he had a solid year last year.
Yeah, he stepped forward, basically.
No doubt. No doubt about it. So I don't want to minimize what he did last year.
Right.
I just think that's a big jump to go to a top 5 in the league, considering how the league is very tight end rich.
Yeah, like I said, there's certain cheerleading going on from Eric Armstead, but I don't mind it at all.
Right.
Prop your guy up, talk him up, chat him up, do whatever you can. Kyle Pitts, still one of the more disappointing top 5 picks in the National Football League. He was a great player in Gainesville. Less than 50 catches last year, just over 600 yards. He did get in the end zone 7 times, so that was good. Isaiah Likely, you know how much I like that cat up in Baltimore. As soon as Mark Andrews went down, Likely was making plays. 42 grabs, 477 yards. Only got in the end zone 4 times because of what we were talking about with Mark Andrews coming back healthy. So Cade Otton, we mentioned him earlier, 10 yards per catch, 600 yards total, 59 grabs, 7 touchdowns.
Bro, if
you'll take it.
Bretton Strange gets 7 touchdowns,
you'll take it.
Again, backflips down Bay Street if he gets 7 touchdowns.
Yeah. A couple of other guys.
This is an offense that averages 17 a game.
Yeah. And you can come up with any number that you want to say, hey, this is a top 10 tight end or whatever. We're not going to – I don't think we're rushing to put him in the top 10 just yet. Just like we're trying to get Trevor into the top 10 right now.
Let's take baby steps.
We're trying to get the number 1 overall pick.
Get your quarterback to stop turning the ball over. Let's start there, okay?
Yeah. The two number 1s, we're trying to get them into the top 10, okay? Let's just leave the second rounder alone for a little while. But anyway, Hunter Henry.
Let's get your $170 million rush edge to have more than 8 sacks, okay?
Yeah. Hunter Henry, 66 grabs, 674 yards in the end zone 4 times. Mike Gesicki, changing teams, still pretty dang good. 5 scores for Cincinnati, 665 yards. And so you're looking at these guys. Cole Kmet, and this is with definitely an uneven year with Caleb Williams.
Yeah.
And he when he got it going, Cole Kmet was a force.
He's a good player,
Yeah, he had
That's what I'm saying. It is definitely a tight end rich league.
Yeah, he had Diesel-like quality. I even skipped over Taysom Hill because he's an enigma, as my buddy Dicko would say. And so I just kind of skip over him. But you got a handful of other guys that were in that 550 to 750 range or 550 to 800 range. That's where he's got to live.
To get to top 5, he's got to live in the 1,000-yard range.
Yeah, he'd have to be way up there.
He's got to be in 1,100 yards and 11 tuds and 70 to 80 catches.
No, you just need to be over that 800-yard number.
To be top 5?
I think so.
Wow.
Yeah, because the special ones are only 3 guys that went over 1,000 yards. And then after that, you drop down to the...
Yeah, but Andrews was injured.
Yeah. No,
I mean, Laporta may not have gotten 1,000, but he's, night and day better.
Oh, of course, yeah. Like I said, I'm just simply saying yardage-wise.
Yeah.
If he does do that, we're trying to get Trevor in that 3,500-yard range this season.
Well, didn't we assume after they let Ingram go and the things that they said about the offense, Cohen, that, like, they're not going to be thrown to the tight end a lot?
Maybe not. I do think
like he's going to be used for blocking and
we should have assumed that when they went to get Travis Hunter, they're going to be throwing to him.
They threw to the tight end with the Rams. They still do. What am I saying? They throw to the tight end with the Rams.
Yeah.
Well, what about the Bucs? What do the Rams have to do with anything?
Yeah.
Well, it's because that's the original.
Yeah, but Liam didn't call plays there. He was the offensive coordinator, but he didn't call plays. But I used the Kate Otten. Honestly, that's my measuring stick right now. But
maybe like a Higbee.
Well, yeah, Tyler Higbee played well, and Sean McVay. The best thing that you can take from what Sean McVay did to what Liam Cohen did. Let's make this the 10-10 tape because this is the most important thing.
Now, Joe C's 10-10 tape. Slow smoked and served up by Sonny's Barbecue. Local pitmaster since '68.
Do not forget it. Swear by it. This is how it has to go. Sonny's Barbecue, they've been in business for a long time, like they said, cooking up great barbecue since the late 60s. Drop on by any one of your area Sonny's on the First Coast and enjoy some delicious barbecue. This is how it has to happen. This is how it happened with Sean McVay, and this is how it happened with Liam Cohen calling plays in Tampa Town. Play action. How do you get play action going? You run the ball. You got to run the ball successfully. If you don't run the ball successfully, play action, it doesn't exist. And so Sean McVay's numbers, and basically, and I'll pull the numbers up, but the way it goes is that the Rams under McVay, the Ben Johnson called offense up in Detroit, the Liam Cohen called offense down in Tampa, and maybe one or two others like Todd Monken up in Baltimore, they lived off the play action because it opened up the passing game. And so many big plays were made off of the ability to design and scheme to make a defense respect your run. That's the 10-10 take, honestly. If that doesn't happen, none of this stuff we're talking about will happen. It won't. They have to prove that they can run the football.
All right, so the 3 tight ends for the Bucs last year caught a combined like for 800 yards, 70 catches. And I think 8 touchdowns. No, 7 touchdowns. It's
good.
You get that?
Yeah.
Again, that's an unbelievable.
Godwin also got hurt last year.
Yeah, and Godwin was down for a period of time. They were reaching for other guys. They definitely worked the tight end in that situation. And hell,
and they had a quarterback throw for a bazillion yards.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Baker was money. And there's that, okay, as part of this equation. You've got to run the ball. And you've got to have a clean pocket and a better Trevor. That's what all that stuff has to happen. There's a whole lot of wishing and hoping
I mean,
now.
Baker threw for 4,500, but if you look at Trev's career, in the seasons when he wasn't hurt, he threw for over 4,000 yards.
Oh yeah, he's capable.
He's more than capable. Yeah.
And so, but it has to happen. That's for sure. When you're looking at the combination, honestly,
I just think with him more than anything, it's the turnovers. He's got to stop turning the ball over.
Yeah.
He's got to stop throwing picks. He's got to stop fumbling the ball. If he can do that, their win total will change drastically if he can do that.
Yeah, and there's no doubt that if you do run the ball, you're going to be able to own the clock. You're going to have a chance at getting a lead and working with it and doing some stuff that they haven't done enough of here of late. All right, we'll get to some of your thoughts on the text line. It's time by Lifetime Enclosures. On that note, we'll get back into the SEC conversation about the coaches' rankings and definitely jump in on your Jags trying to build this thing in the offseason to return to winning ways.
What is this?
Jacksonville Sports Radio.
We have hope. Rebellions are built on hope.
With the power to save the planet. Or at least sports radio in Jacksonville.
They are requesting a call sign. It's
1010XL.
Are you ready to step up to luxury?
Check out the power of our exciting 2025 lineup, including the Lyric, IQ, Optique, and the stunning Visti.
With over 15 electric Cadillacs in stock and more on the way, it's the perfect time to trade in your Tesla and embrace luxury with a twist.
At Randy Marion, there are no tariffs. Visit Randy Marion Cadillac on Southside Boulevard, Jacksonville, and see why our electric lineup turns heads.
Don't miss out. Drive Cadillac, electric or gas. We have both. Plus tax tag title $9.99 admin fee and resist all on approved credit.
Are you 18 years or older, just got married, just got divorced, or have children? Listen up. Have you done your last will and estate planning? If you have questions, call Matt Hinson with the Hinson Law Firm. Reach him at 527-1700, offices Jacksonville, Florida. And don't let the state decide your fate.
Spring has sprung, and so have the bugs. It's Hayes Carline and my friends at Kingfish Pest Control offer an exclusive $99 spring special. That's right, your initial pest control service is just $99. And if you call today, they'll include a free one-time mosquito treatment. Kingfish Pest Control is family-owned, 5-star rated with no binding contracts, and 100% satisfaction guaranteed. Call them now to book your service. Only at Kingfish Pest Control, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
I'm with Greg from Cycles of Jacksonville, and Triumph has been a legend on-road. They've branched out to their off-road division as well. Give us the latest on what you can find on the asphalt.
They've got some great new products. They've got the Scrambler 400s you can get into for a little less than you might think. It's a great price point bike, but still a Triumph.
So affordability is also part of the equation.
It is, and it looks good, and it rides good.
CyclesofJacksonville.com, or check them out on their Facebook page, the showroom ready and waiting for you on Atlantic near Regency at Cycles of Jacksonville.
This Day in Sports History is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On May 29, 1990, MLB Oakland A's outfielder Ricky Henderson steals record 893rd base, breaking Ty Cobb's record.
Are you struggling with hair loss? At IHRS, we understand because we've been there too. We're dedicated to finding the best solution tailored just for you.
My hair looks great. It was thinning, and IHRS restored my hair.
It's now fuller, it's thicker, voluminous. It's made me feel great.
With the latest technology and FDA-approved laser therapy, PRP, and non-surgical hair addition, we offer guaranteed solutions for men and women. With over 35 years of experience, IHRS found a hair restoration for us, and we can find one for you.
For me.
For me.
And me too.
Visit hairforme.com or call 904-777-IHRS. Get a free microscopic analysis and get to the root of your problem. This $395 analysis is yours for free. Call 904-777-4477 now.
Hey, Hicken here. Tired of glasses or contacts? Discover customized vision solutions at Bowden Eye & Associates. Dr. Bowden's team offers cutting-edge options like Evo implantable Collamer lenses or refractive lens exchange and classic LASIK, designed to fit your life. Picture perfect vision for reading, driving, or just enjoying the day. It's easier than you think. Call now for your free screening. Bowden Eye & Associates, they're keeping the First Coast focused.
Are your kids ready to play this summer? Come check out the Y. Summer is a time for kids to explore new things and expand the limits of their imagination. At the Y Summer Camps, every day is a new adventure. Kids can learn about STEM, arts and humanities, athletic sports, outdoor games, and more. Registration is now open, but space is limited and spots are filling up quickly. Learn more and find your adventure at fcymca.org. Search Summer Day Camp.
Cannonball!
Honey, someone's in our pool.
Oh, refreshing.
John, what are you doing?
Oh, hey, Dave. Seeing as how me and the guys at Clearwater Irrigation reinstalled your sprinklers after the pool contractor ripped it out, I thought you wouldn't mind if I took a quick dip.
But in a Jaguar print Speedo?
Yeah, Dave. My bad.
Clearwater Irrigation. We can't sing a lick, but we sure are good at sprinklers.
And drainage, too.
I'm Brendan with Checkmate Coatings. We coat it all. Garages, pool decks, driveways, and patios. Be the envy of your neighbors.
Checkmate Coatings. Your floor's missing piece.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. This is XL Primetime, brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool on 1010XL.
Oh, I love the sound of that. Is it called like a Calypso channel or something like that? So, Big Sur's is in Jamaica. So, JJ's got the playlist out for him today. Just kind of put him in a good mood.
What do you think he's doing right now?
Toes are up.
If
That's
he's
what I'm
smart,
telling you.
he's like, like on the I once went there where we had like this Cubana, whatever you want to call it.
Cabana?
Cabana, sorry, not Cubana.
A Cubana. Cabana.
And it had like a front porch. It was almost like an old school, home that you'd see. Mm-hmm. And
it was a little cracker house.
It had this front porch.
Like
and
no
I remember
windows.
just sitting on the front porch.
Yeah.
Not doing a damn thing.
Oh.
Yeah, he's at
Just
Sandals.
literally not doing a thing.
If I'm at Sandals, I'm doing a thing.
Right,
okay?
if you're at
Or
Sandals,
two.
yeah. But if you're just like on a beach with white sand, you don't do a thing for 2 hours, and you go jump in it for about 20 minutes, and you go back on the porch and don't do a thing. And
it's all good.
See,
That's
the
what
good thing
vacation's
about where
all about.
he's at is you can do all that, but you also have a guy come serve you nice drinks.
Exactly.
Little umbrellas in them.
Yeah, but you also got to deal with other people in that point. And that,
That's true.
if you don't like people,
Well, I do like people.
I know you do. I know you do. I know you do.
I do
Joe
like
really
people.
does.
Yeah. But it's so funny because the Calypso channel, I'll call it. The Bob
I shouldn't say
Marley.
don't like if people annoy you. I guess is the best way to say it.
There are some that can definitely do that. But the Bob Marley channel, whatever. So we went on the cruise, TLD and I, and we heard hardly any of it.
Really?
That's sad.
It's crazy. And so that's why I'm glad that JJ's playing it, because we came back and we I don't know, we were playing music in the backyard, and she's like, that's the first time I've heard this all week, whatever. I'm like, yeah, it
Did they
was
just
weird.
play like pop music, like
lot of
today's
pop.
hits and
Really?
stuff to
Yeah.
just please everyone? I hate that.
It
Make me feel like I am on a cruise.
Well, you know what it is? It's you got to have that DJ showing that he's current, and so
It's like, we get it, bro.
Yeah, but does he have like one hand on his one head side of his headphone?
Yes.
And he's like the other hand's up in the air and he's
Yes.
like dancing.
the answer's yes.
I want to kill that guy.
trash.
Seriously, that's what I want to do.
Well, listen, I will just say this in the name of DJ EL, who I miss dearly, who we lost earlier this year. He was the best. Okay, he was.
I will also say caveat when ET does that, I'm okay with it.
Exactly, and so
Because he's my boy. I'm okay with that.
So
But if ET was a cruise DJ, he'd be playing some reggae music.
Oh, yes, he would.
Yes, he would. You better
Freaking
believe
T.
that.
And so I found myself, like, towards the end of the cruise, I went and listened to country, okay? There was one country dude that wasn't bad at all. He kind of
Nice.
took me to, like, kind of Nash Vegas a little bit.
Country
towards the end.
DJ.
Yeah. No, country singer.
Okay.
Yeah,
Now, on a cruise,
which
have
is
you-
odd on a cruise.
Is there a country DJ? Is there such a thing as a country DJ? Because
yeah.
that'd be sweet.
Oh, yeah.
Nashville, I'm
Really?
sure.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
Now-
outside of Nashville, I know that. But
On
I mean,
the
like,
cruise, Joe, did you do they have, like, at every cruise I've ever been on,
Mm-hmm.
they have the bar, the club at night where everyone puts on their own music. There's like 4 channels.
Oh, nice.
And so it's like, if you take off your headset, it's completely quiet in there.
Okay,
But
so
like you and your girl can be dancing to something, but the people right next to you can be dancing to a completely different genre of music.
all right, I appreciate you educating me now on this. Okay, this is we have just driven off onto the on ramp. Okay, because the first night we get there and we go watch the show or whatever, and it was okay. It wasn't great. It was all right.
Right.
And so then the dude, the cruise director, gets
Right.
up there and he says,
Who becomes like the boss,
Oh, he
by
is.
the way. You see him like twice a day, every single day.
"Ladies and gentlemen, we've got such excitement."
Speaking of guys that will annoy the hell out of you, there you go.
and he said, you are such a tremendous crowd. And he just talks and glosses on everybody. And then we find out this is the first time he's been on the ship. Okay.
Wow.
So anyway, but what
The
was
best crowd he's ever
yeah,
had.
the best crowd ever. And so, but what was funny is he said, I want you all to get ready for, and he named it.
Silent disco, probably.
Yeah,
or
the silent disco.
Yeah.
And when he said it, I'm like,
Did not.
it is what it is. And so when he said it, I'm like,
That doesn't sound very fun.
what is this? Right. And I didn't know. I'm an old man. And so anyway, bottom line is we start walking through the promenade deck, whatever, the main one.
Mm-hmm.
And they're handing out beats and everyone's signing up. And we're like,
What's going on?
what
here?
the heck is going on? And so then we come back later from the casino, and by this time it's midnight, 12:30, whatever, and this whole thing's going on. And it's exactly what JJ just described.
Quiet room.
Really?
Well, there was a bunch of screaming, so that at least kind of filled the air because everyone was hooping and hollering.
Because to their own music.
But it was to their own music.
How many people were in the room?
Oh, there were 500 people, 400
Yeah, because
people
on a
in there.
cruise, like
No
at
way.
night,
See,
late
now that
night-
would be cool. What's that called, JJ?
A silent disco.
silent
But
disco.
like late night on a cruise, you only have like one or two options.
Yeah.
So like everybody, if you want to party, like everybody has to do the same
And
thing.
so then, and you got the whole light show going on
Yeah.
and all that kind of stuff, and so yeah, it was like, whoa, okay, now I get it.
Cruises are cool. They're cool. It's not my favorite vacation, but if you want to be like really lazy, they're a great vacation. But you see the same people. It's like a small town, and you see the same people for a whole week. You almost become like a community. It's cool
it's
like
funny.
that.
We hadn't been on one in a long time, and so now we're already planning next year with the kids. We're taking all them. Just for a quick
That's
one.
awesome.
Yeah, just for a quick one, just a little 3-dayer down to the
That'll be
Bahamas
fun.
and back. Just whatever. Just have fun with it. But we hadn't been on one in a while, and I still like to go, like what Matt's describing. Go to an island, and not
do
have
your
to-
own thing.
Yeah, not have to worry about
Not have to
anything.
worry about anything or anyone.
Yeah, but it.
And if you get caught with another family at dinner, like that you don't really love,
God, heaven
it
help me.
sucks because you eat with them every single night.
Right.
No, that wouldn't happen. No.
And I'm sure they think about me like they're like, oh my God, this
yeah,
guy.
of course. But I mean,
That La Selva guy.
Why is he so drunk? It's like 5 p.m.
But you are right
it's
that
5
we would
o'clock. Why is he blotto?
we would fall in with certain groups, and we had a good time. It was great. And so when you come out of there, you're like, you kind of got that like that coolness groove, like you've caught up a little bit with the bands you've been listening to and all that kind of stuff. And then you go back to your boring existence. But I was telling JJ before you came back that people travel far and wide to see beautiful Caribbean waters.
Something we can drive 10 minutes.
We are spoiled, man. You get to walk out every morning to the beach.
I do, and it's lovely.
Yeah.
Honestly, it is. But it's not like some of those Caribbean islands, man.
Yeah.
It's just not.
Yeah.
It's
Big
different.
Vic. Big Vic. I have to give you the name of it. He went to off the coast of Honduras.
Whoa.
To this tiny little. I'll come up with the island. Come up here. I'll find it in just one second. But anyway, tiny little island. Loved the heck out of it. He said it was unreal.
And I bet it's cheap.
Yeah, it was all right. So he went to
Roatan.
Yeah, Roatan.
Roatan's really nice.
Yeah. And when I started looking at pictures of that, I'm like, whoa, that is pretty cool. And so that was one they flew in.
Yeah, these
You
pictures
start going
look
to
like they're AI.
Like
They're so
Aruba
pretty.
and Jos Van Dyke and Anguilla. You
Like
start going to
Aruba
those
for sure.
places,
Yeah.
you're locked into just doing nothing.
There's a lot of those great ones. And the northern Abacos, all that stuff is just beautiful.
So are a bunch of the other cruisers, they're from Yankee states or just like Midwest or just everywhere else?
Yeah, because
and you're like, I'm from Jacksonville, Florida.
The first people we sat down with, they were from Cleveland, but they had been to St. Augustine, and so we had something in common and all this kind of stuff. But they said, look, man, we left 4 kids back home. You don't know how excited we are right now. They're with the parents, and we are partying. And so they were having a great time.
I can agree with that. Yeah, definitely.
And anyway, we found something in common with a handful of them, but we had a good time. All right, so real quick on the tight end front, and then we'll get into the SEC discussion. 2024, 2024, Brenton Strange, 53 targets, 40 catches, decent percentage.
Very good percentage, actually.
411 receiving yards, 2 touchdowns, had 183 receiving yards after the catch. Evan Ingram targeted 64 times, had 47 receptions. So those are similar numbers, honestly. 64 and 47 versus 53 and 40, not bad. And so if you can create some of those numbers, again, this is up to Liam, and it's up to Trevor, and it's up to the rest of that offensive staff. Scheme it up, man. I don't think anybody, all of Duval, just wants to see the ball go down the field.
Right. I don't either. And I think that's a little deceiving number. Like you can look at any number, make it tell a story you want it to tell, because at the end of the day, on third down, Trevor's going to Evan Ingram.
Mm-hmm.
He's not going to Brenton Strange.
Well, we're going to find out.
Right. Yeah. I mean, in the past.
Yeah.
Like a lot of Brenton Strange yards last year were all, garbage yards.
Mm-hmm.
So they're different players, clearly. They're not on the same level.
Yeah.
But I agree with you. He had a nice season. Mm-hmm. Let's see what he can do next. Let's see if he can be this guy that Eric Armstead. Frankly, I just hope that Eric Armstead becomes what he hopes someone else becomes.
Yahtzee. Okay,
right.
Yahtzee. I want to see Eric Armstead pronounce what he's going to do on there. That would be great.
I would rather hear him say, I'm going to be one of the top 5 interior defensive linemen in the game.
Yeah, I'm going to be a big cat inside, which is what this team desperately needs on that side of the ball. So we'll keep it going on that front. 641-1010. Hit the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures. YouTube stream is cranking. You miss any of the show, all you got to do is go back. You can watch the whole show. Just type in XL Primetime on YouTube.
There's something about hearing the game live that makes it all come to life. Feel the energy on 1010XL, Jacksonville Sports Radio.
Hey guys, Taylor Dahl here from Helmets and Heels, inviting you to join us live at the brand new Kia on Atlantic this Friday. From noon to 2, we're talking sports, cars, and a boatload of prizes. The first person to arrive in their own Kia during the live show wins a free set of tires. You could score club seats to a Jaguars game with a parking pass or a pair of tickets to see Live and Collective Soul at Daly's Place. Plus, giving away 2 free oil changes and 2 alignments. So join Helmets and Heels this Friday, noon to 2 at the new Kia on Atlantic.
Call 904-500-COOL. Ideal Conditions.
Ideal Conditions Heating and Air Conditioning is your go-to for all AC repairs and replacements. Just gas your AC. For exceptional service, call 904-500-COOL or visit idealconditionsjacks.com to schedule your estimate today.
Call 904-500-COOL.
Honk if you see us. Call for service.
Ideal Conditions.
Idealconditionsjacks.com.
Pizza to Tea here, and Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here it's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find the scratch kitchen that comes through in the clutch every day, from lunch to late night? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar. Come on, somebody.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialist is now offering ortho walk-in appointments. If you have an immediate need for orthopedic care, contact Southeast Orthopedic Specialist immediately. Avoid ERs and urgent care waiting rooms. For more information, go to se-ortho.com.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Get more Gators with Dan Hickett and me, Frank Frangie, on all things Gators on 1010XL Gators Podcast, with new episodes every Monday, brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, wherever you find podcasts and at 1010XL.com.
What does your dream backyard look like? Hey, it's Joe C. and my friends at CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living can design an outdoor kitchen layout custom built to your taste and lifestyle. You dream it, they can build it. CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living. Visit CSSOutdoor.com.
Need or want cash? Beaches Jewelry and Pawn has cash available. Ready to buy guitars, surfboards, jewelry, firearms, tools, and especially gold. They need it all, selling or pawning. Get cash on the spot at Beaches Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach.
For lost or broken keys or nearly any make and model of vehicle, call 722-1111 for
Instant Keys. Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you.
2 classic albums, 1 night of hits. Styx presents The Grand Illusion. Kevin Cronin Band presents REO Speedwagon's High Infidelity. June 2nd, Daly's Place. Brotherhood of Rock Tour. Plus Don Felder, formerly of the Eagles. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. 2 classic albums in their entirety. Styx, The Grand Illusion, REO Speedwagon's High Infidelity. Don't miss the event of the summer.
The flagship station of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Mike Dempsey, and now's the time to get your roof hurricane ready with Apex Roofing and Contracting of Jacks Beach. Look, our rainy season is no joke, and if your roof's got damage, leaks, or it's just plain worn out, don't wait. Apex is local, dependable, and will show up on time using only premium materials with ironclad warranties. No shortcuts, no stress. Just quality work you can trust. Skip the storm season scramble. Reach for the peak with Apex Roofing and Contracting in Jacks Beach or visit apexroofingfl.com.
Hi, folks. It's Frank Frangie. Look, when it comes to glass needs around the home, there's one name I trust, Lee and Kate's Glass. Those beautiful custom glass shower enclosures, maybe a new mirror, a glass tabletop. They can even replace your foggy or cracked glass without having to replace the whole window. Lee and Cates is local. They're family owned. They've been a part of our community since 1926. Boy, they've taken care of me, including our brand new offices at Walk-Off Charities. They did a great job. I promise they'll do the same for you. Visit leeandcatesglass.com.
Hey gang, Prosser here, and it's always great when you can replace a problem with a promise. And let me get right down to it. When it comes to Chad and Sandy and selling your home, here's a promise that you can count on. Chad and Sandy guarantee your home sold at an agreed-upon price and deadline, or they will buy it. Now, more. Spring selling season is here. Rates are down. Activity's up. Now's the best time in years to sell your home. Some homes are sitting on the market, though, and hiring an expert who can maximize your equity and minimize hassle is the key. Those expert agents, and I'm recommending them to sell your home, Chad and Sandy Newman. There have been lots of you out there on the First Coast who are taking advantage. Take David and Heather in Fox Ridge. This is out in Orange Park. We wanted to move to Keystone Heights to get closer to family, away from the city. We heard Chad and Sandy on the radio and called. What you hear is true. We got multiple offers and sold in 3 days for $15,000 above asking price. Call the local experts I trust and recommend to sell my home and yours. Call Chad and Sandy, 414-6200, ChadAndSandy.com.
Jacksonville, you know a good defense wins games, and a good fence protects your home. Frank Frangie here. Coil Fencing has been around the block since 1927. Literally, they probably fenced it too. From tough chain link to sleek aluminum fences your HOA will love, Coil is the name to trust. Nearly a century strong and still standing tall. Call Coil today. You can trust them. Call 904-356-4821 or visit coiljacks.com. That's COYLE Jacks.com.
I'm Max Fink with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update, brought to you by Southern Oak Insurance. Over at Hodges Stadium, UNF's hosting the NCAA Outdoor Track and Field East Region First Round. One of the best Osprey athletes in school history, Smila Colby, who will be running in the women's 800-meter tonight and Saturday, sat down with Hazen Hacker on the Frangie Show yesterday to discuss some of her long-term goals.
Yeah, Olympics in LA 2028, definitely the goal. And on the way there, of course, major championships. I've never ran internationally yet for my country, so that's definitely the goal. But first of all, focusing on the NCAA and making it as good as I can.
Colby's a first-team All-American. She holds the third fastest time in NCAA history for the women's 800-meter and is the seventh fastest in the world. She also holds a 4.0 GPA. It's 91 degrees at 2:59. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. This is XL Primetime, brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool on 1010XL.
Definitely keeping it cool right now. We've been talking, have a little fun with you Jacksonville Jaguars, some SEC spring meetings talk, and some good all-island music. Since Big Sirs is off today, tomorrow, Monday, as he's down in Jamaica, having a good time. That's for sure. Hopefully he'll have time to just kind of walk the beach. I think they went down there for a wedding ceremony, so we'll find out. But hopefully he's having a good time. That's for sure. All right, so we were talking, the cruise ship info that's come in has also been very helpful. That's for sure. We love it. All right, so 3 o'clock hour, Joe C., Matty Hayes, JJ, we were hanging out. We've been talking about Brenton Strange, the tight end numbers that he might be capable of in the Liam Cohen-led offense, and we'll definitely get back on that coming up in just a bit. We've been also talking about the SEC and the spring meetings and the Billy Napier chatter about where he should be ranking among the SEC coaches. We'll spend some time on this in the 3 o'clock hour. But getting back to the actual big discussion about the 5+11 college football playoff model, SEC coaches, at least it sounded to me like, Matt, were okay with that idea. They like the 5+11, and you'll explain it. But then also, I would think that would eliminate the chatter of a 9-game conference schedule. Would it or would it not?
No, I don't think that has anything to do with it, actually. I think it actually might push it more toward the 9-game schedule.
Okay, so explain 5+11.
So what the model is now or had been until it's of late, there's been a lot of commotion is the best way to say it, I guess, was 4 automatic qualifiers for the SEC and the Big Ten in a 16-team field, by the way. 4 for the SEC and the Big Ten, 2 for the ACC and the Big 12.
Right.
So that takes you at 12. 1 for the Group of 5, that's 13, and then 3 at large. And Notre Dame is protected if they finish in the top 16. So
ranking wise,
correct.
Yeah.
So really, it's 2 at larges if Notre Dame finishes in the top 16. Now, there were a lot of commotion about that. The ACC and the Big 12 aren't happy about that. So then the 5-11 is now floated. The 5-11 would be the champions of the 4 power conferences: the Big 10, the SEC, the ACC, and the Big 12. The highest ranked Group of 5 champion would be the 5th. The other 11 teams in the field would all be at large. Okay?
Okay.
So now that means if the SEC has a great year, they could get 7 or 8 teams in, which if you go back over the last 10, 12 years and you go through the final rankings, you can see that there were years where the SEC would have a lot more teams.
Yeah.
A lot more. So, there's a couple ways to look at it. I think they want the guarantee of having those 4, and then there's two floaters left. If Notre Dame finishes in the top 16, there's 2 floaters left. They think they've got a very good chance to get 1, if not 2 of those floaters, right? So then you're talking 6 or 5 or 6.
5.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and that's if you can take 5 or 6 every single year as opposed to the 5-11,
and it's
you're going to take the 5 or 6 every year.
Right. And it's fully based on a 16-team model as opposed to what we're currently.
Right. We're currently in a 12 team. But I will say this. Greg Sankey dropped this bomb right near the end of his press conference yesterday when he said, it's not out of the realm of the possibility that they just stick at 12.
Okay.
They stick with what they've got in 2026 if they can't get this thing done. Now, they have to have a format in place by December. The problem is the SEC can't wait till December to make it 8 or 9 games. So what the SEC chooses to do with its conference schedule,
right,
being 8 or 9
hang on
games,
now.
could dictate what the college football playoff does with its format.
Okay, all right. So I guess what I'm trying to wrap my head around this. They can't make it a 9-game schedule this year, can they?
No.
Not
This is for 26.
Yeah.
This is all for 26.
Okay, so 25 is set. 26
is the first year of the new contract.
Right, the potential.
The new playoff contract.
Yeah, the potential of a new number, they've already changed the seeding, but a new number of teams. Or
the seeding's going to change for this season.
The seeding will change
the
this
season's
season.
already changed. They already voted for that.
Correct.
So they're doing
For the
that for this
12-teamer.
year. Right. Yeah. So that is done.
Yes.
But what I'm saying is that could they go to a 9-game in conference, the SEC model,
right?
By next year, they would have to vote on that win for that to actually happen.
Well, that's the question.
You said they can't wait until December.
Why not December? Why is that too late?
There's a lot of structurally. There's a lot of stuff that has to get done. Like
television contracts and all that stuff.
It's you want to get fans the ability to do what they got to do.
Yeah.
Set what they have to set as far as vacation or whatever it is. Right.
These schedules are coming out earlier and earlier.
Right.
So I get what you're saying.
So. My guess is they would love to have it now, but my guess is that the SEC is probably going to have it like by the end of July. It'd be probably the best spot. But again, I think they can dictate what the college football playoff does by staying in 8 or going to 9, and that's kind of what's probably because the Big Ten wants them to be at 9, so they can both be at 9. The Big Ten currently plays 9 conference games. They kind of feel like, well, we're playing 9 conference games. It's not really fair that you only play 8.
It's the classic line. Well, we're doing it,
which is ridiculous because the difference between the 2 leagues right now isn't really close. Even though the Big Ten has won the last 2 national championships.
Yeah, but it's 16.
But top to bottom, it's not. It's still.
But when you look at who the SEC's playing, most of the time out of conference, they're big game. Like they're Georgia versus Georgia Tech or Florida State versus Florida or whatever. Like
LSU and
just
Clemson.
Act like we're playing 9 games, so it's a better or harder than you guys. That's absurd to me.
And the ACC, and this is, you guys know I love the ACC. I throw darts a lot at them, but I still love them. But the ACC needs those in-state games or border war games against the SEC.
Sure.
It drives their schedule.
Well, we just need them as college football fans.
It's paramount to their schedules. Are you
Kentucky,
kidding me?
Louisville,
Yes.
Georgia Tech, Clemson, South Carolina, Florida State. Those are all crucial games.
I know Florida State Miami is a huge rivalry. The Florida State Florida game is a much bigger moneymaker than that game.
Yeah.
This is those games, those four teams that play those state rivals.
Right.
It's gigantic for those four ACC schools.
And then you take either
Kentucky for Louisville. Are you kidding me?
Yes,
it's everything.
It's massive. And then you take in Arkansas, you take one of their old school rivals, which they have done, or A&M with their old school rival,
who are now in the league,
which is now
Arkansas's
it was
old school
A&M
rival
Texas,
was Texas, right?
Yeah, but you at least look around, and you find either old Big 8 stuff or old South West Conference stuff, and so more than anything else, and kind of what JJ just said, we all want good games,
right?
And if you can live in a world where every game feels like it may not be as simple as a coin flip, but you can't write the ending before the game starts. You just don't really know what's going to happen, which means you've got to get rid of the Chattanoogas. You've got to get rid of the Citadels. And I don't know whether they could tolerate one of those games on their schedule, make it homecoming or whatever. But if they could get rid of that, because they've got some crappy teams that are still sitting on big boy schedules. I don't know if they can get rid of it.
I don't. So going to 9, I think, is the right thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
But if you go to 9, let's say you're one of those 4 teams in the SEC. You go to 9, you play a state rival, and you play a Big Ten game. That's 11 of 12 games on your schedule are going to be against power conference
And
teams.
we're not going to get Alabama versus Florida State. We're not going to get LSU, USC.
Right.
We're not going to get Florida versus Miami.
Right. You're not going to get any of that.
But
you will get an extra SEC game.
Right.
You will get a game against a Big Ten team. You're going to get Florida against Michigan.
Yeah.
You're going to get Florida at Penn State, which is gigantic.
If you do bring that Big Ten, that one more element, then they can have the.
Imagine Penn State going to Gainesville.
Yeah, they can have the Chattanoogas and the Citadels as that one.
Imagine
game.
Florida going to
Oh
Ohio
my
State.
gosh.
Are you
Yes.
kidding me?
Yeah.
That's everything, man.
Yeah. And we already talked about it, the fact that national champions are now going to be crowned in the cold, which they had never been crowned before. Now, they may not be crowned.
Well, at least the road to the national championship will be in the cold.
Yeah, goes through the cold, which it had never, ever, ever happened before. And so that wrinkle's cool. And then if it is Big Ten and SEC marrying up like that with a guaranteed game, that is a big separator.
Well, it's also like it's another 2 more huge games on the schedule.
Mm-hmm.
Like JJ and I were talking in the pre-show meeting. Week 3 right out of the gate. Right out of the gate. Georgia, Tennessee, Florida, and LSU.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Week 3.
Love it.
And it just gets better every single week.
It's a chin strap game.
Yes.
As soon as you get going. I'm looking at the Chicago Bears because it was a big story that Caleb Williams talked, and they showed the schedule right out of the box. And it's inside the NFC North. It ain't easy from the jump.
Right.
And so that's what you have to deal with.
They're becoming the NFL. Yeah.
And so the SEC / Big Ten, which you can call them the Super D1 if you want, but they basically have half of a Super League ready to go.
If you get to those
if
11,
they start scheduling like
if you
that.
get to 11 of 12 games against power conference teams, you're literally going to have to decide where you want to put that cupcake game.
Yeah.
Do you start the season with it? Do you put it at like week 5? Do you put it later at like week 8 or week 9?
Mm-hmm.
And we're also going to have teams with 4 losses every single year.
Every year you will have that. Yes, you'll have teams with 4 losses that deserve to be in the playoff, and that's the biggest problem that the coaches have right now. Is and Lane Kiffin said this yesterday. You could have a team that has 3 losses, that even has 4 losses. That's night and day better than a team from another conference that has 1 loss.
Yeah. Says Lane, of course.
No, right. Says Lane, but his point is well taken.
He's already plugged 4 losses in his brain.
I mean, if you
he's already justifying his 4 losses this year.
But
how much better he is than a 1-loss whoever.
If
from
you're
the
Indiana and you play one team with a winning record,
I agree, but Indiana is one of those Big Ten teams that are claiming that they're equal to the SEC, and to me, that's what pisses me off. That somehow the Big Ten is placed on equal
and it's
footing.
not just and I think Lane Kiffin was saying also within each league too. Like there's got to be, and this is the problem. Their problem is the selection committee. There's no subtleties within the committee. There are no nuances. They don't know how to see, well, holy crap, Indiana's played nobody.
Yeah.
The one team they played, they got annihilated against Ohio State. And they beat one team with a winning record. What in the world are they doing in the playoff?
Yeah, I know.
So there's all they see is the left column. The left column is the wins. And then when they see the right column, and if the right column has more than one loss, oh boy.
Yeah.
Forget about it.
Yeah, they want to toss
They're
them.
still living in the 80s.
Well, it's so funny because the Power Four, and listen, this could be Marvel Comics, Avengers, I have no idea which one. But is the Hulk and Iron Man, they're not the same, okay?
No.
and
they never have been the same.
No, Green Hornet, he lags behind, okay? And
Green Hornet's going to get his ass kicked by either one of those two.
And Aquaman, take him out of the water, he's cooked.
Yes.
All right, so, but that's the Power Four right
Sort
now.
of like take the Canes out of Miami Gardens and they're cooked.
Yeah, well, just the simple fact that there's heavies, more heavies in one conference.
They went to Gainesville.
They did. I was waiting for that, too. I was
He
totally
looked over.
waiting. I'm surprised it took you that long, man.
He said, you know what? Pregnant pause.
I looked over at
I
you. I was
wanted
like,
Joe to get his point across, but I was like, screw it. I'll interrupt.
It's the truth. Because look, you will always have that until you don't have that. And it's going to come again this year, and Billy better be ready, okay?
Yeah.
He better be. But that's it, is that
I mean, look at LSU now. Their first 3 games, 2 of their first 3 games are at Clemson and against Florida.
Yeah, and that's tiger on tiger crime, like I was describing it at the ACC.
The Gators are the same. It's LSU and Miami.
Yeah, it's crazy
Insane.
tough right out of the box, and it's great because I think that's what every fan wants. And
that's why there's got to be some kind of nuance within the selection committee. They have to be able to see, okay, look at the schedule this team played.
Okay,
be it Ole Miss, be it Florida, be it Illinois, whoever.
Right.
Look at the schedule they played, and they're 9-3 or they're 8-4 is better than the 11-1 that I don't know Kansas State is, or the 10-2 that Colorado is.
Yeah, and we could go to Arizona State, SMU, some of the teams that were in there. SMU did not win the conference championship, yet still got in there as a one-loss team.
Yeah.
All right, so here's
2-loss team.
Yeah.
2-loss team. That was the key.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. They were because they lost
to BYU.
Yeah, and then they lost to Clemson.
Yeah.
Okay. Where this is a texter, a prime timer. Where do most of the voters reside? In what conference or states of what conference? Do we have any in like?
No, I don't think it's that. I think it's more along the lines of you've got former ADs and former coaches.
Yeah.
These are older guys, okay? Older coaches, older ADs. And they can manage the room. Because if there's ever any I've been through this process before, believe me. I've seen it happen. I went through the mock that they did. Coaches like that, if there's ever any question, Joe, let's say you were a 30-year coach or wherever, okay? If there's ever any question between a team or a situation, it's always, hey, Joe, what are your thoughts?
Right. You'd wield
and
some
they
power.
Yes.
Yeah.
They can massage the room however they need it to go.
Yeah.
So you've got older guys, older coaches, older ADs. They're still looking at the left column, not the right column. The right column to them is evil. The left column to them is everything positive.
And I still feel like it's a little subjective if you do the SOS, which is strength of schedule. And it's so funny because people look at quality wins versus quality losses. I didn't know there was such a thing as a quality loss, but there is. And so that's the metric.
There has to be a metric in there.
That's the metrics that'll drive you a little crazy.
I think the funny thing is they ran away from the metrics from the BCS because everybody was making fun of them because it was crazy.
Yeah.
There's no doubt it was. But
there was some good in there, though.
Yes, they've gone so far subjective now.
What is the catch?
That they need to get some more metric back into it to kind of like bring everything back to the middle. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh,
and
yeah.
if they can do that.
Well, here's another one.
If they can get like 3 or 4 metrics that they say, we're going by these 3 metrics.
And make everybody understand.
Yes.
So SEC plays tougher, but Notre Dame has their guaranteed playoff slot every year, playing their week independent schedule.
Preach.
I'd like Florida or whomever to get a lock in the playoff every year. And it's true. Notre Dame has
if they're ranked in the 16, they're going to get a lock.
Right. They have what is it's a BIA, okay? It's a built-in advantage. They have had it forever based on their brand, based on their stock, based on their independence, and no one has been able to force their hand to change that.
And they kicked Georgia's ass last year.
Well, yeah, and they had give old Al Golden a lot of credit.
And I don't want to hear about well, we had backup quarterback playing because that backup quarterback beat Texas to win the SEC for you. Okay,
yeah. No, it was
because you were down in that game. So I don't want to hear about Gunnar Stockton in that game. They got their ass kicked by Notre Dame.
Poor Gunnar. he was supposed to be like, they were so ready to ship Carson out of there and basically give the keys to the former 5-star and say he'll deliver us, because they didn't love Carson at that point because he had made too many mistakes. They expected Gunnar to do it. He didn't do it. All right, so you guys keep going on that. 641-1010. Hit the text line, designed by Lifetime Enclosures. Some other numbers as far as what your Jacksonville Jaguars can do, trying to form what we hope is an offense that looks the part, that can score almost from anywhere with almost anyone in the teal and black.
If you bleed teal and black, we've got your back. 1010XL 92.5 FM, home of the Jaguars.
Are you ready to step up to luxury? Check out the power of our exciting 2025 lineup, including the Lyric, IQ, Optique, and the stunning Visti. With over 15 electric Cadillacs in stock and more on the way, it's the perfect time to trade in your Tesla and embrace luxury with a twist. At Randy Marion, there are no tariffs. Visit Randy Marion Cadillac on Southside Boulevard, Jacksonville, and see why our electric lineup turns heads. Don't miss out. Drive Cadillac, electric or gas. We have both. Plus tax tag title $9.99 admin fee and resist all on approved credit.
You've probably heard the saying, it's not how hard you get hit, it's whether or not you get back up. Well, I'm attorney Brett Hastings, and I have a saying of my own. If you get hit with a personal injury or wrongful death, hit back and fight to make them pay. At Hastings Injury Law, we have the experience you want if you or a loved one suffer a car or trucking accident or wrongful death. Just call 904-HIT-BACK and we'll help you get up and hit back. Office is Jacksonville.
Hey, Jacksonville, I'm sure by now you've seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We are an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We are committed to customer service, reliability, and have unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today. GFL, green for life.
Dan Hicken and Jeff Prosser start the week by giving the ball to the best back in Duval.
And off, Fred Taylor.
Monday morning running back with Fred Taylor is fueled by Epstein & Robbins DUI Defense Firm and Monahan Jewelers on 1010XL.
Hey folks, Rick Ballou here for John's Auto. They've been a staple in Jacksonville going all the way back to 1985. At John's Auto, they service all makes, all models, cars, trucks, diesel, you name it, they do it. Whether it's routine maintenance or a complete engine overhaul. Call John's Auto on Arlington Road. That's 904-743-3857 or go to johnsautomotivejacks.com.
This spring, the action is non-stop at Best Bet St. Augustine. From heart-pounding daily high hands and tournaments to amazing table games promotions. But that's not all. Immerse yourself in the excitement of your favorite springtime sports at Aces Sports Bar, located in Best Bet St. Augustine. Enjoy a perfect blend of wings, beer, poker, and all the big games on our massive screens. For a full rundown of all the action and how you can be a part of it, visit bestbetjacks.com. That's bestbetjacks.com.
A lot of companies will tell you they're the best. At Custom Tree Surgeons, they show you every time. Custom Tree Surgeons has built an all-pro team. Every tree service professional has years of experience, continually trained and certified. They know what, when, and how to handle any job. It gets done efficiently and quickly by a team of experts. So for tree trimming, removal, stump grinding, and emergency services, forget any name other than Custom Tree Surgeons. There is no job they can't do better. Go to website CustomTreeSurgeons.com. That's CustomTreeSurgeons.com and let them show you how the job is supposed to get done.
Where can we go on Earth to get away from those pesky mosquitoes? The answer next.
Southern Oak Insurance is proud to continue offering coverage statewide. Financial stability makes Southern Oak Insurance a wise choice for your homeowner's insurance needs. Log on to southernoak.com.
Our family protecting yours. Southern Oak Insurance.
Iceland and the Faroe Islands are the only countries on Earth where there are no mosquitoes.
Southern Oak Insurance. Our family protecting yours.
Want your son or daughter to enjoy sports year-round? Then log on to i9sports.com with summer and fall registration open right now, including girls volleyball at Duval Charter Bay Meadows, plus plenty of other spots and sports on the First Coast. i9sports.com. Enter 1010 for a discount.
Right now, they're on their way to disrupt your life. make you uncomfortable, and rob you. Don't bother calling the police. They can't help. That's right. Summer heat and humidity are about to attack North Florida again. You know what to do. Call Mike Merritt. Mike Merritt's Heating and Air has a license to chill. When heat and humidity are attacking you, Mike Merritt provides a comfortable chill at a bargain price. Mike has been keeping North Florida comfortable for 30 years. Mike Merritt technicians are never paid commissions, meaning you'll never be pressured to buy something you don't need. And Mike Merritt knows cooling issues can arise anytime. They don't just happen during business hours. So Mike Merritt never charges overtime fees. When you need us, we're here for you. Remember, in the fight against heat and humidity, Mike Merritt has a license to chill. Visit merrittair.com. Florida license number CACO 50384.
What? All the budget has to be used now? And we can use all the media buy?
Javier's marketing firm just got its dream funding.
Okay, ideas. Bobbleheads. No. T-shirt cannon. I seriously need some help here.
He needs to find marketing managers who are worth every dollar.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Sponsoring a job on Indeed gives it a visibility boost so you can hire faster. Redeem your $75 credit at Indeed.com/credit. Terms and conditions apply.
I'm Brendan with Checkmate Coating. Pool decks, driveways, garages, patios, we coat them all to make your neighbors jealous.
Checkmate Coatings. Your floor's missing piece.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. This is XL Primetime, brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool on 1010XL.
23 minutes after 3 o'clock hour.
I'm digging this vibe.
Yeah, I like it too. What did he say? Did he say it would be on
He said if it was me, I'd be playing Rasta.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
If he was the cruise ship DJ.
Yeah, he was the cruise ship DJ. I will say this also, the 802 on the text line brought to you by our good friends at Lifetime Enclosures. Speaking of Rasta and this laid-back thought process.
Yeah.
What drugs are you guys doing today in the studio? Strange, a top 10 tight end. Trevor, 39 touchdowns. Those drugs are working.
To be fair, that was Leon's prediction.
Right, that was Leon's prediction.
Yeah,
and
so
Strange being a top 5 tight end was Eric Armstead's prediction.
Instead of Jacksonville, it's Gummyville. Well, there's nothing we can do about it right now.
But we also had a texter send us a PFF ranking of linebackers.
Yeah.
And Lloyd was number 1.
Oh, stop it.
There's a lot of drug use going on.
Stop it.
Here.
Like number 1 what?
I got to go back and look.
On the team or in the...
No, like in the NFL.
Oh, stop
I swear, man.
All right, I need to answer this other question. And
here it is right here. Sorry, real quick. It's top 10 linebackers per Mason Cameron. Okay, he's not number 1. He's number 7, but in all of the NFL.
What's the metric they're using?
I don't know. PFF, they keep it all hidden.
Yeah, that is true.
But it's, top 32 linebackers going into the 2025 NFL season per PFF's Mason Cameron. And our boy, Devin Lloyd, comes in at number 7. Congratulations.
It's so funny.
Let's get a little applause there.
Sorry.
7.
Look,
we must all be wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
We literally must all be seeing something that's not there.
Who didn't pick up his option.
Right. And the Jags, who, by the way, used a 4th-round pick on his replacement.
Yeah,
they must not be seeing something that PFF's seeing too.
I do love it though. We crush them when some of this stuff comes out, and you're like, "What in the H are they talking about?" And then other numbers,
when Trevor's up 10, you're like, "Hey, he's number 10."
But it's funny because I heard the discussion Jaguars today, and John Shipley was hanging out with Fat Tony. I still like to call Fat Tony Fat Tony. Okay,
right.
I love Tony Smith, but it's Fat Tony to me. But anyway, Tony and John Shipley, who was in hanging out with him, they were talking about whether or not this is the last year that Devin Lloyd will be wearing a Jaguars uniform, so on and so forth. And they were talking about whether or not they could turn him into this pass rusher that you and I and Leon like.
I don't want to get into this argument because you get crazy about it. But
I get crazy.
He's been misused for 4 years, but whatever, we're not even getting into it.
But it was funny because Ship 100% disagreed with you. And it was just kind of funny the way that he said, you may think Devin Lloyd can come up to the line of scrimmage and rush the passer. You may think that's what he did at Utah, therefore he can do it here. He said, but it's an entirely different dynamic as far as what they would be asking him to do. And it's just his opinion. And I appreciate Ship saying it, that he
Go tread lightly there.
I know. I was all over the map there. Ship.
That's line and lime all over again, man.
But
this was locker room talk.
But I appreciate Ship saying it, that he doesn't think he has the skill set to do that. Now think about what they have done, your Jaguars, and multiple coaching staffs, okay? Different coordinators on that side of the ball, different coaches since Devin Lloyd has been here. We all know that. But at the same time, they have put him in a lot of different spots. They played him outside in edge in a 3-4. They played him outside in a 4-3.
No, he never played outside linebacker in an odd front. Never. He was never a Josh Allen type, Unique Ngakoue type. He was never one of those guys.
No, that's
never.
true. He played inside when it was a 3-4, but he played outside when it was a 4-3.
Correct.
And
Which
so
is not a rush edge.
No, but I'm just saying they have played him outside, and then they moved him inside. And the reason why they moved him inside is because at least with this new defense, which was a disaster, this new defense, the cheap trick DC,
horrific.
Nielsen, it was terrible. But they moved him inside.
Which is probably one of the reasons why it was horrific.
And maybe that's where the PFF numbers come from, because he at least loaded up on tackles. Devin Lloyd made a lot of tackles last year.
He did.
Okay, which is what Foye had been doing his entire career.
Right, which is why the Falcons just let him go.
Yeah.
Right.
And so they moved Devin inside to do the job that Foye had done, and that's where those numbers started to stack up tackles.
And the lead guitars came from the Falcons. So.
Yes, exactly. And
right.
And I don't think he was there when Foye was there. He might have been. But anyway, you get my point, is that they've moved him around, and he has not necessarily been that guy at any one of those spots. And so that's why everyone basically says this is his last year.
Right, but he was not a cover guy in college. I don't know why everybody keeps saying that. Oh, he covered people. No, he didn't.
No, they're not saying that.
He was a rush linebacker in college.
Right.
That's what he was.
They're not saying that he covered people. And this is where we butt heads all the time on this thing. No one is saying that.
No, there were a lot of scouts saying, "Oh, he's great in coverage." No, he wasn't.
No, my only argument has always been linebackers have to cover. I don't care what you say. They have to cover. They don't have to do it a bunch, but they dang sure better be able to do it. And he is a guy that has just been plugged in a lot of areas, and it just has not worked.
Right. He's a lot like, by the way, Walker Little, where they just keep moving him. And now do this. Now do this. No, now do this.
Well,
at some point, you just got to stick the guy. I'm telling you right now, he could be a guy that they let go of him, and he gets on with the Steelers or the Ravens or one of those odd front teams, and all of a sudden, he's got 8 sacks because he's playing on the outside linebacker.
Like, that's going to be one of our.
That is. That's definitely going to. It's definitely going to be, because when it happens, you guys will never hear the end of it from me.
I
Never.
don't doubt it. But it'll be a beer and wing bet, because how about this novel idea? He was overdrafted.
Okay, I got no problem with that either.
Yeah.
I have no problem with that either.
It was a balky.
But he's 6'4", 255. He was in the studio with us.
Yeah.
He is a dude that looks the part, man.
Oh, he's a big cat, but he also got a little heavy last year and didn't run nearly as fast. And then putting him inside.
Still finished number 7 in the PFF rankings.
Yeah. Now you're using it as your argument. I love it. But the simple idea, it was a balky brain fart, and he was overdrafted. There should never, ever, ever be a draft where your first 3 picks over 4 rounds are at the same position, basically. Okay, one was an edge, but he still was drafted as an outside linebacker. Then another linebacker was drafted. Then another linebacker was drafted. There never, ever should be a world where a GM is allowed to do that. Okay?
How does that even happen?
This is unreal.
Why did someone in that war room say, "You already picked 2 linebackers"?
I got an idea. Take this card up to the podium, man. We're getting us another linebacker.
We're loading up a linebacker.
Hey, what are you doing? And so that basically is how it all.
Shouldn't there be like a guy in every war room that is stone cold sober?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And sees everything, right? Mm-hmm. And one of those like guys that can numbers in his head, he does it immediately, and Wait. Excuse me. Pardon me, sir. That's
We've
the
already
third
done that.
linebacker.
Yeah. Oh, wait a minute. I still have my sheet from last night. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, if a guy is allowed to like butt in and maybe veto one draft per draft.
Right. Exactly.
And he sits in the corner. He doesn't say anything except for that one pick.
This is my draft.
Anyway, I don't know what is going to happen this year. I'm all in on Campanile. I hope that he turns them all loose. Okay, but I was just as fired up to see Ryan Nielsen.
Campanile.
Yeah. That's what I just said. I said several different versions of it, but yeah.
They actually asked him how to pronounce his name.
And it's Campanile.
In Italian, it's Campanile, but but everybody says Campanelli, so I just roll with the punches, whatever. Just don't call me late for dinner, that's about it.
Wait, play it again. Play it again. Campa what?
Campanile.
Just the first part of it. He said
Campanile is how
In
he's saying
Italian, it's Campanile, but
Campanile, yeah. Okay.
it. That's how he's saying it, but all I ever...
Just don't call him late for dinner.
I always say... Yeah, just don't call me late for dinner. I always say Campanile. I have no problem saying it because it's just like fragile. That's all I got to remember.
Must be Italian.
It's a major award, and so that's how I do it. But
or ukulele.
Yeah,
which you
exactly.
say all the time. So yeah,
that's been requested today, by the way.
Yes,
with the calypso
right
music.
with the calypso music, JJ. There you go.
Thank you. As a matter of fact, save that, JJ. I think we're going to need it coming up here in just a minute. But I don't know where. I would just like to see Anthony Campanile put Devin Lloyd anywhere he wants, where he thinks he can get the most out of him, and even help him get his next gig.
It'd be awesome.
It really would. But
it'd be great for Devin Lloyd too.
Yeah,
He was a great dude.
Yeah, there's so many guys
misused.
that need to be put. They need to be coached better.
Yeah,
and they need to be put in better spots to make
Amen
plays.
to that, brother. There are a lot of guys in this team that need to be coached better.
And I want to see what they can do.
And I wasn't a big fan of that because you used to always bring that up, and I'd say it's the NFL. They got to be, they got to. No, I think you're right. I think there's a lot of guys. So here's it. You say coach better. I say there's a lot of guys being able to freelance, and you cannot freelance in the NFL.
Cannot do it. And and Coach Campo, who's enjoying a nice long vacation with his family, got a big family reunion in Texas. They're having a big time. But he preaches it as well. You freelance is a bad word.
No, not in the NFL, man.
It's a bad word.
Yes.
And so you got to be assignment rich is one of those words or phrases I like to throw out all the time. You got to be assignment rich. You got to have the aptitude and the attitude. And you can't be fiddling around trying to make up for somebody else. And Dewey Wingard said it. It was driving him crazy because guys didn't know exactly where they needed to be. And this team needs to have that type of instruction and power from the coaching staff on both sides of the ball to say, no, damn it, this is the way it's going to be done. This is how we're going to do it. And this is how you're going to be a star. Because I love when Coach tells the story. He tells Rasheem Mathis, he tells Rasheem Mathis this.
Right. If you do X, Y, and Z,
you're going to be a Pro Bowler.
You're going to be a Pro Bowler, right.
And he did. And it's that. So the coach of any of these positions can have a major impact. Still, players got to make plays, which is what Leon preaches, and I totally get it. But they have got to get good coaching for them to have a shot. We'll see where it goes. It is XL Primetime. We did mention the ukulele. It'll be coming up in just a bit right here on XL Primetime.
If you like the heat, we are always bringing it. 1010 XL.
Some like it hot, some like it hot.
Jacksonville, Kia on Atlantic is open for business and the place to be this Friday. Taylor Dahl here from Helmets and Heels. Come see us broadcast from noon to 2 on Friday. Talking cars and incredible prizes. The first person to arrive in your own Kia during the live show wins a free set of tires. You could score club seats to a Jaguars game with a parking pass or tickets to see live and Collective Soul at Daly's Place. And they're giving away 2 free oil changes and 2 alignments. Off Atlantic near Kernan, noon to 2 at the new Kia on Atlantic.
This is Mark Nato. My sons and I have seen the doctors and PAs at Southeast Ortho for everything from lumbar spine stress to elbow tendonitis. Southeast has always been there, been truthful, and always been on point. Everything they say happens. We can't thank them enough for what they've done and the great care that they have taken of our sons.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Get this. Joey and me were supposed to go to this concert next week, right? But then something terrible happened. Joey was driving without a seatbelt. But he didn't wreck. No, he got pulled over. Now Joey has to pay for a seatbelt ticket instead of a concert ticket, and I have to go by myself. How lame is that? So Joey, if you're out there, you're an idiot. Wear your seatbelt or you'll get a ticket.
All across the country, cops are cracking down. Click it or ticket, day and night.
Funded by the Florida Department of Transportation.
Say goodbye to glasses and contacts with customized vision treatments at Bowden Eye & Associates. Hey, Hicken here. Dr. Bowden and his expert team bring you all the latest options like Evo implantable Collamer lenses, refractive lens exchange, or traditional LASIK. Tailored just for you. Imagine waking up to clear vision. No hassle, no fuss. You ready to see the difference? Call now or visit BowdenEye.com for a free screening. Bowden Eye & Associates, keeping the First Coast focused.
This date in sports history is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On May 29, 1990, MLB Oakland A's outfielder Ricky Henderson steals record 893rd base, breaking Ty Cobb's record.
Warm weather means the beach, fishing, golf, and more. Make sure to drop into Daly's and grab a cold case to go. From Bud Light to their seltzer, from Mick Ultra to Modelo, or your favorite crafts like Old City or Sweetwater. Grab and go at your local Daly's.
For the greenest, lushest lawn on the block, choose the local legends, Roundtree Sod. Don't just settle for ordinary. Let Roundtree Sod deliver you a picture-perfect lawn. To get a free estimate, call 7414-SOD. 7414-SOD.
Blue here for the Blue Crab House, located right off of San Jose. It's on Jewington Creek Road. They've been around since 1996. Indoor-outdoor dining. Also, takeout is available at the Blue Crab House. Open 4:30 to 9, Tuesday through Saturday. Sunday, noon until 9. Remember, Tuesday, $2 margaritas. Wednesday, $1 oyster night. How about the blue crabs? How about my personal favorite, the Canadian snow crabs? Whatever it is that you fancy, you get it right there. The Blue Crab House.
Swing into the hottest party of the summer. Join First Tee North Florida at the Yards on June 12th for the Summer Soiree Baja Beach Bash. We're bringing the vibrant spirit of Cabo San Lucas to the First Coast for an evening of family-friendly fun. Enjoy live music, craft cocktails, golf games, raffle prizes, and delicious Mexican-inspired cuisine from Taco Lu. Golf, fiesta, and philanthropy, all to support the impactful programs of the First Tee. Visit firstteenorthflorida.org/summer soiree to secure your tickets today.
Bueller. Stay cooler with Bueller.
Hey, pal. Pretty nice weather we're having, huh?
You think this is nice?
I mean, it's sunny, warm. We do live in Florida.
It's not all upside, Jason. Warm weather comes, so all the cool people hit the beach. My old air conditioner craps out, so it's 1,000 degrees inside, and I'm stuck on a video call in my underpants trying not to sweat through my...
Wait. Put these sunglasses on.
I'm not going to put on your...
Whoa. The air conditioning experts at Bueller Air and Plumbing can keep your home office cool and comfortable all summer long. You look good in your meeting, impress the big guy with your cool confidence, maybe finally make assistant deputy regional manager.
Wow, air conditioning can do that?
Life moves pretty fast. If you spend all summer worried the weather is going to be too nice, you could miss it.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
Buying a diamond, wedding band, or piece of fashion jewelry in Jacksonville? You have two choices. You can go to locally owned Beard's Diamonds, or you can go to one of those mega national chain jewelry stores. The national chains are pretty much all the same. In fact, did you know that some of them are owned by the same conglomerate? Yes, the same Wall Street company owns all the big names. So if you're looking for extreme value with genuine personal attention, come experience the Beard's Diamond difference. At Beard's, our diamonds come straight from the source. We hand select each one for maximum brilliance. We don't have to apply corporate markups and tack on salespeople commissions, so we beat the chains on price every single day. Beards has the strongest warranties, not gotcha clauses in fine print. Beards has all the top designers, including Tacori and Viraggio. Beards doesn't have out-of-state regional managers calling about sales quotas. We are all local, family-owned, with total freedom to do what's right for our customers. Beards Diamonds, all the selection, quality, value, and service you want from local people, accountable only to you. Beards in the St. John's Town Center.
1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, the cool down from the cool guys at Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing. Fast, reliable, and honest service since '87.
All right, my takeaway is I like the positivity. I like the positivity over there at the Miller Electric Center. I do. And I know you might laugh at that, but I do. I like the fact that Armstead's coming out saying he's going to be a top 5 tight end. I like that. I want to see more of that. I want to see more positivity. All right, then you obviously got to back it up.
Yeah,
you obviously got to get on the field and back it up. But you have to do something to change the negative momentum of the last 4 games. You have
Since
to.
December of 23.
Yeah, you got to do something to change that momentum. So even if it's whistling through the graveyard, who cares?
Yeah,
it's something to change that negative momentum, and they've done it obviously by completely redoing that building with the young guns. Mm-hmm. We are calling them the young guns too.
Yeah,
by the way.
I like that.
They've done it by doing that, and now it's time to see how these players react, because that's the key to everything. How do they react? Yeah. Do they come to camp with a completely different mindset than what they had before? Because that's what it's going to take.
Yeah, it's funny. The classic line is Rome wasn't built in a day, and when you think of what this team and the challenge is, it's pretty dang big to get this team cleaned up from a culture standpoint, a goal-setting standpoint, and just get rid of a lot of scar tissue. Remember, we would play the song "Feelings" when Doug said this team needs to heal.
Right.
And in some ways, there it is. Thank you. In some ways, they did, but then he didn't go right back to that. Okay, we're past that. Now we got something to go do. We need to be accountable. I'll never forget Doug Peterson said, "This cannot just be one season. We have got to go back and do it again." And I'm thinking, oh, hell yeah, this guy's got it. And no, he didn't, okay? It just ultimately submarined after that point. But you have to speak it into existence, which it sounds like that's what James Gladstone, what Tony Baselli, what Liam Cohen are trying to do right now. Visualize it. Come up with a plan to do it, and then go do it. Like you said, you still got to make plays.
Yeah.
And let's see if they can. But the leadership...
It's also the way you visualize it. It's the way you sell it to players, too.
Yeah.
Like, I think what Doug Peterson meant when he said they had to heal was they just had to get over what it was. Healing's the wrong word. Healing is a weak word. That's a weak word for a leader of men. They need to heal. Okay? He should have just said, look, the guy before him was an idiot. Had no idea what he was doing. We know what we're doing. You're going to have a much better chance to have success, to earn larger contracts, to make more money in this game, to have more fun in this game than you've ever had.
But that would have been a great way to sell it.
Yeah, it's the way you sell it. Like, you can't say healing to grown men in a sport like that where they kill each other every single play.
Right. And we did kind of have fun with it then, and I still scratch my head that he, like Andy Reid looks like a softball head coach, right? He looks like he could have been cast right alongside Walter Matthau in Bad News Bears, all right? He is a cheeseburger-eating, Hawaiian shirt-wearing. He could be sitting next to Leon at the pool in Jamaica right now, okay? But Andy Reid runs a tight ship.
Yeah.
And he knows his X's and O's. He knows how to push certain buttons. He has a front office that kicks tail constantly, Brett Veach and whomever else is there, and the results prove it. And so Doug Peterson learned under Andy. You thought he would have gotten a lot of that DNA from him, but he just didn't have that.
It just seems like he was more hands-off.
Yeah.
He's definitely more laissez-faire. Definitely.
Yes. More
he just
casual.
wanted the players to be professional.
Yeah. You can't, that's when the players, when one of the first things they hear is they need to heal. I mean,
you're justifying them.
You're
to
giving
be
them an
like,
excuse.
I'll
is what
take
you're
a
doing.
year off. I'm healing.
Yeah, and that's that Jaguar Lifeline that we talk about all the time. That's for sure. Then some come here to vacate and cash a check. All right, so one more off the text line. Just staying on the Jags real quick. The Commissioner Duval has chimed in. He said, "This is where I have to defend Matt," and I criticize Matt a ton on this text line.
He does, by the way.
And he was referring to Devin Lloyd. He said that's literally what was said the most about Devin Lloyd prior to coming into the NFL is that he was a coverage linebacker. And so, I don't remember it, but the commission spoke it, so I'm going to go with it. And like you said, you believe that to be true as well. I just know that he has to be able to do more than one thing to be a successful linebacker, and I do want to see what happens with him. And this falls under the same heading that we just talked about. You gotta visualize it. You got to come up with a plan to make it happen, and then you got to go do it. And if they can do that, that would be a football miracle. If they take Devin Lloyd and any of these other guys and turn them into what everyone hoped they would be.
He was a disruptor in college. He wasn't a cover guy. I don't know how anyone could watch that and think, yeah, he's going to be a cover linebacker for us. He's a disruptor. It's what he was.
Yeah. And any of these guys, like we said, you just take a look at snap count and what these guys are asked to do, especially when it was an odd front and he was part of a 3-4. That's what he was for the first 2 years of his.
When they played an odd front, they had him inside.
Yeah.
When he should have been outside.
Yeah, because you had the other guys that you had outside. Let's not forget that.
You had Josh Allen. Who was the other guy at that point? It was
His name was
Josh
Trayvon.
Was it Trayvon?
Yeah, because that's
not the first year, though.
No,
Trayvon was the second year, I thought.
No, that's the whole thing. They went linebacker.
Yeah, that's right. That's
so
right.
They came in the same year.
That's right. That's
so,
right.
All right.
Golly, that's right.
Give me a that, if you don't mind. I'm going to combine two things, if you don't mind, JJ.
That just happened. Brought to you by Florida Home AC, the official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Wait, before you go any further, how dumb was that staff? Seriously.
How dumb
was that staff? Not only to take those linebackers.
I love when he does this.
I know,
like,
but
wait
it's
a
just
minute,
like you said that. They could not get out of their own way. All right, go ahead. That just happened. Go.
The NBA playoffs took place last night, and Oklahoma City is going to the NBA Finals, and the Minnesota Timberwolves are out. We have not talked about it at all, okay? And so I figured I'd bring it up.
Out.
Yeah, I figured I'd bring it up as a that because Oklahoma City is back. They've made it to the NBA Finals, and Minnesota is left answering a lot of questions. Anthony Edwards having to answer most of them, and he's so chill. He said, look, I'm just 23. I'm going to be here a bunch of times. Why is everyone thinking I should be worried about it or whatever? Anyway, that was not a great look for him and them.
Right.
They got smoked in that game last night.
9 points at the end of the first quarter.
Oh, my gosh.
9.
What was it, 64-30? Was it 65-32 at the half?
Probably, yeah.
It was insane.
And this isn't an era where you see both teams will go into the second quarter like 42-40.
Right.
So to see a 9.
This actually, JJ, this could be like the most entertaining finals in a while. Who the hell's going to watch it? Oklahoma City and Indiana.
Well, if New York is to come back,
that ain't happening, bro.
I don't think it.
I don't think it will either, but that would be epic.
Yeah, it would be great. But
I agree, it's going to be bad ratings.
Everyone see that the only thing I hate it.
But I don't care. I'll watch.
Exactly.
Yeah, I
if
think
it's
going
the
7
two
too. Actually.
Best, I want to see the two best.
Right.
And right now, Halliburton is making you pay attention, and obviously OKC has been good all season long. Speaking of good, all the time.
Now, the 2-minute drill. Serviced by Cool Cats Heating and Cooling. Locally owned and operated. We're your neighbors. CoolCatsJacks.com.
The coolest cats in town.
I'm not afraid to say it. He's the 1 seed coming out of the West. The embedded and shredded. Ace Carline.
Boy, Oklahoma City, they are they are unbelievable.
And old big Chet Holmgren is playing a big part, staying healthy and obviously
it's incredible.
So I see Pat Dooley the other day. And the great Pat Dooley from formerly the columnist at the Gainesville Sun.
Love Dools.
Yeah, the Dools brothers. We hooked up and we had a couple of cups.
Both of them good people. Yeah.
And so anyway, Pat's walking off the green. He's like, did Mike White recruit Shea Gilgeous-Alexander? and he did. You go back and look.
He was committed to Florida.
Yeah, he had committed. And so anyway, he reminded us. I'm like, just think about how things could have been different.
Yeah.
If Mike White would have landed him, he had committed, wasn't able to get him, and then obviously went to Kentucky, and everything is the rest is history.
Yeah.
Would he still be at Florida?
Maybe.
And no natty?
No natty. That you can pretty much count on.
Yeah.
But yeah, Mike White's a good recruiter, and it's
Isn't that something though?
It's sort of the in-game coaching that in the offensive side that he really struggles with. But yeah, it's amazing how those dominoes fall.
Yeah.
I mean, in all walks of life, like. My favorite domino is what if the Dolphins team doctor had cleared Drew Brees' shoulder.
Wow, yeah.
How does that change the NFL and college football
Because
if Nick Saban gets Drew Brees at 26 years old and Brees ends up having the career with the Dolphins, and that may not have happened.
Right.
Maybe it was Sean Payton, but still.
Yeah.
And then what happened? Does Nick Saban ever end up at Alabama? Does one of the greatest dynasties, probably the greatest dynasty of my lifetime, ever happen? So it's always fun to go down those rabbit
For that
holes.
matter, what if Rich Rod said yes to Alabama? Then Nick's never there.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's incredible. But yeah, we're gonna have a fun Frangie show coming up. Frank's on vacation this week, so he'll be back Monday. But Hacker is good enough to join us. So we're going to have Lee Smith, the executive director of the Players Championship, join us at 4:20 to talk all things golf. The Memorial going on this weekend. Obviously, Oakmont U.S. Open just a couple weeks down the road. And they've changed the Tour Championship format, which I like.
Do not give him any starting strokes when he comes in.
Yeah, we will not. But so that'll be a lot of fun. And we're going to go through the AFC South a lot today and compare really every unit among the four teams and get Hacker's thoughts on, how you would rank them and so forth and really break that down. We're going to do that in the 5 o'clock hour. So lots of fun stuff coming up on the Frangie Show.
Within the first 10 minutes, I want the Brenton Strange prediction, the numbers line from you, okay? I'll be listening.
I'll give it to you right now. 157 catches, 1,789 yards, and 19 touchdowns.
A book. And a book.
And a book.
Yes.
Strange days.
Yes. Yeah, thanks, man. I love it. Love it. Yeah,
He's already got the title. I love it.
Yeah. He knows exactly what he's doing. He's already typing it in his head right now. All right, we're done. You got plenty of stuff coming out of the SEC Spring Meetings, USA Today Sports. Check that out. We say thanks to Corona on a beautiful Thursday. Enjoy one of those. We are done. Joe C., Matty Hayes, and JJ. You got the Frangie Show coming up next.
Everyone wants to doubt Jacksonville. Never doubt